Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Or almost afternoon, I am so sorry. I'm Lori Garcia with United Healthcare, and I am here with Tanya Phillips from Insurance Office of America, and we're going to go over some of your reward programs for your wellness initiatives. And does everyone have one of these handouts for Simply Engaged? Okay, that's what we're going to go over first. Has anyone here completed the Rally Health Survey by chance? You did?
Is that
okay, good.
Where you register for the biometric screening?
It's through that site, yes ma'am. But the health survey itself is...
You only asked me one question.
Yeah. Well, you have to actually go into the survey to take the survey, but the biometrics, you're right, you do go through there to also sign up for the biometrics event that's going to be at the end of October. And that's a good point to make right now. October 28th is your on-site biometrics event that United Healthcare is going to be hosting. And Quest Diagnostics is our preferred vendor for those particular services. So for your benefits, you will still continue to use LabCorp of America, but only for the biometrics you will see Quest there. So apologize for the confusion. It is new this year, but they were able to accommodate more from a vendor perspective, so that's why we're trying this out with them for this year. But so far, so good. So you would go on to the myuhc.com, launch into Rally on the Rally tab, and then sign up for the on-site biometrics that will be here, like I said, on October 28th. Hi, welcome.
I'm Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. I'm Lori.
Nice to meet you, Lori.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry I'm late.
No problem.
Prior to.
That's okay. We're just getting started. And we're going to be using the handout. Okay. Simply Engaged is a wellness activity program to help with wellness initiatives and reward you along the way. So for you and your covered spouse that's enrolled in the plan, each one of you are eligible to receive or earn $200 in gift cards. And it's based on certain activities. So as noted on the front page, biometric screening is the very first one that's noted. There are a couple of ways you can do this. Definitely we want you to take advantage of the on-site program that's going to be here at the end of October. But if you go out to myuhc.com and you go into Rally, there's a tab that says Rally, and you go into the rewards tab, there is a way for you to not only register, but you can use either an MD form that you can take to your doctor or a lab form that you can take to Quest if you don't make it to the on-site biometrics. So there is a way for you and your spouse to do that and still participate and still qualify for the reward. So this is the biggest of the rewards. I believe it is $75 for this one. So what will happen is if you're going to join and participate the on-site program at the end of October, about 2 weeks after that is over, Quest will send in a file electronically to United Healthcare, and all of that data from your individual biometrics will upload into your personal Rally. It is not something that I see or United Healthcare sees or your employer sees. All of that data is personal to you in your personal Rally Health Survey portal. You will receive an email that will tell you you've completed your biometrics. You can click onto this Claim Your Reward button, and it will take you to be able to select your gift card. They have Amazon, they have Home Depot, they have Bed Bath & Beyond, they have all kinds of stuff out there. So you can get up to $200 in those depending on the activity. So that is the first one we'd like to promote because it is one of the most important and because you're having an on-site event. So we want to definitely promote the participation there. Anybody have any questions about that in particular? Okay, the next one is for the health survey through Rally, and again, this is a rewardable activity. If you go through myuhc.com, click the Rally tab, you can go into Rally to take the actual health survey. It will ask you to register with an email ID, so forth, and it starts with like an avatar type of little icon. And then you kind of go from there. It is not your typical radio button type of survey. It is more like a video game emoji kind of icons out there, if you will. It will ask you lifestyle questions, health questions, eating habits, sleeping habits, exercise, are you married, you know, and I will give everybody a heads up because this is a big shocker. It will ask you if you do drugs. It will ask you if you smoke marijuana. It will ask you if you drink. All of that is personal and it is confidential. So, you know, it is up to you how you answer it. I will tell you something that we have found where it does ask you if you drink any alcoholic beverages, and I do not know why it does this. We have not been able to get an explanation, but if you try to put 0, it won't let you. It will get a little, I know. It actually pops up a little message that says you have to put at least 1. So I don't know what that's about, but anyway, just so you know, that is something that comes up on that one. But just to reiterate, the point is that we want you to be as honest as possible because it is unique to you, and it is about your health. What's going to happen through the survey is it will ask you about, you know, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? You know, do you exercise? If so, how much? What are your eating habits? Are you married or not? Do you smoke? Have you ever smoked? All of those types of things. So when you get to the very end, all of that intuitive data is gathered and it generates a message to you that says, okay, first we're going to give you what's called a rally age. Your rally age is based on that data, what your health age is. So if you put in that you are, you know, chronologically 35 years old, but your health age is 30, that's a great thing. If it says you're chronologically 35 years old, but your health age is 40, we got some work to do. Okay. So it will give you probably about 3 to 5 missions. Those missions are based, again, on that data that you input. So it might say, based on this, you need to get more sleep. You need to eat more green leafy vegetables. You need to exercise 30 minutes a day, at least 3 times a week. Those types of things. They're recommendations. You can either accept them, you can deny them, you don't have to do any of them, or you can change them. If you go into the dashboard that's at the top of the screen at the end of that rally, it will show you all of the missions. There's about 52 of them. And they range from anything that could be being grateful every day to running a marathon. It just depends on what you want to do, if anything. You had asked about an app. There is a Rally app on the App Store for Android and the iPhones.
It's called Rally?
It's called Rally. Rally Health, I believe. And when you go into that, when you load up that app, you can take the survey on there. You can take it on your phone, you can take it on your tablet, you can take it on your desktop, your laptop, whatever's most convenient for you. What's nice about that app is that when you get to the missions part, you can set up reminders. So for instance, you can set it up that you want to be reminded 3 times a week to exercise 30 minutes a day, or to walk a mile, or, to, eat more vegetables, whatever. And I want it to come on at 7 o'clock in the morning when I get up. And it will alarm you, and it will just kind of ding, and it will remind you and say, hey, don't forget to do this today. And you can mix and match those. You don't have to do it at all. But it is a nice way to keep track, and it's something that helps you stay on track. So it's a pretty slick app out there. There are virtual visits out there. Not virtual visits, virtual challenges. Virtual visits is something else. Virtual challenges, which are walking challenges that you can sync up an electronic device, a Fitbit, a body media device, Garmin, any of those types of things. And there's about 6 of those challenges out there. And what happens is you will participate once you sync it up. It's to virtually walk around somewhere, like maybe walk around the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, or walk through Chicago, or walk through New York City, or walk through Washington, D.C. All of those types of things. Once you sync it up, you'll see that there's a leaderboard. And everybody that's participating out there are all other rally participants that have also joined that challenge nationally. So your little avatar that you pick at the very beginning when you first register for Rally will be how you monitor where you are and whatever username you come up with. So you can pick an avatar that's a female pirate and call yourself Pirate Girl if that's what you want. And that's how you're gonna, nobody's gonna know it's you except you unless you share that. And there's several out there, but just to give you an idea, that's how you will see everybody out there. So you may or may not know who the other people are. Most people don't use their real name, and because they're little avatar pictures, they get pretty creative and they're kind of interesting. But it lasts for about 2 weeks. And it's a good way to kind of challenge yourself with other people that are participating to see where you are, how much you walk, or even if you run. All of that will still load up on there. So again, you and your spouse and any dependent children you have on your plan that are 18 or older can participate in that. Now, for the rewards themselves with the gift cards, only you and your covered spouse are eligible for the gift cards. Your children over the age of 18 can just do the Rally Health Survey. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, going to the gym. As you can see, there are several gyms here. Now, it is going to depend on the area in which you either live or work. So some of these are everywhere, some of them are not. You may have some in your area that other people don't. It just depends on what you're looking at. It will tell you again in the Health and Wellness tab when you go into Rally for the Simply Engaged. It'll ask you where you are. You can put in a city or a zip code and it'll tell you where in your area you have all of these gyms and what's available to you. It does ask you to go 12 times a month. I know that sounds like a lot, but it averages out to about 3 times a week. Now, one thing we have found out is that it will only calculate and count 1 time a day. So if you're somebody that is really into it and you go in the morning and then you go again at night, or you go a couple of times, you know, in one day over the weekend, it's only going to calculate for this reward piece once a day. Does that make sense? So if you go 12 times a month, what will happen is at the end of that month, the gym will submit an electronic report to United Healthcare. It uploads into our system. It eventually uploads into your system with Rally, and then you get the notification that you have met the criteria. You can go and get your gift card. This one takes a little bit longer to notify you because it is 12 times in a month, and we have to wait for the gym to give us that data. But you still will be notified. Everything in the Rally tool under the Health and Wellness Rewards has a little green tab that says, get your reward. And it will tell you, you know, biometrics, $75, click here to get your reward. It takes you to the gift cards. The Health Rally survey, $25, click here. It takes you to get your reward. So all of that is in the Rally portal. So you will always know, you will always be notified. Your plan year ends on December 31st this year. You run from January 1 through 12/31. You have until midnight on December 31st of this year to earn a reward. That means take your biometrics, do your health survey, whatever. Then you have 120 days after you earn your reward at any point in time to actually claim your gift card. Okay? Okay, any questions on the gym or the rewards? Okay.
Actually, one question.
Yes, sir.
This only applies to just one gym. What if you're, I was looking at this list, what if you're a member of 2 of them?
That's a good question. It's my understanding that you have to, for this reward, you would have to participate the 12 times at one specific gym only because that report comes from them and it has to show that you've been there for a whole month.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so again, his question was if you belong to more than one gym, can you accumulate on both? It's great that you belong to more than one gym, and I applaud you. But the reward is, for this particular piece, it is based on just one particular gym. The next page is about the health cost estimator, and you'll see a little bit different estimator tool, if you will, sometime early this next year. But for right now, again, this is something that is really good if you have a service that is not going to be a copay, that it's going to be subject to a deductible and coinsurance. So for instance, you're going in the hospital, you're going to have outpatient surgery, that type of thing. What this does is you will log in again, everything is through myuhc.com, you go into the cost estimator. Say you have to go get a knee MRI and it's subject to a deductible. You can go into the cost estimator, it's got a list a mile long of all of these procedures. You click on knee MRI, you put in a city or a zip code, and it will bring you, and a radius as well, like how far do you want it to search outside of that zip code area. Then it will give you about at least 10 or more, depending on what area you're in, of our top providers. Our providers are tiered. Tier 1 providers are the cream of the crop, if you will, based on, not that everybody else is not. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that all of our providers are not top notch. But we have gone to the length and extent of working with a lot of providers to be specially credentialed, because they have found that the practices of certain providers, including hospitals, anesthesiologists, whoever, are more effective with cost and outcomes. So they will have a little heart by their name. Those are going to be the ones you see first when you do your search for a provider on the provider portal, or if you do the cost estimator. So the reason I use the MRI as an example is because if you were to go to an outpatient facility at a hospital for a knee MRI, it's probably going to cost you maybe about $1,800. If you go to a freestanding facility that is not associated with a hospital, and I'm not really sure of the names down here in Palm Beach, but in Tampa we have like Rose Radiology or Tower Diagnostics. If you go to one of those, it's probably about $800. You still get the same quality. They're still going to do the same exact procedure. But if that is going to your deductible and or out of pocket and you have coinsurance to pay, you want to be able to manage your dollars that's in your best interest. And that's what the cost estimator helps you do. Make sense? So I strongly urge you. Now for your reward, and don't tell anybody I told you this, you don't have to be going anywhere. You can just go in, try it out, and you get your reward. So I think it's another $25, so don't leave that money on the table. Okay, the next one is about missions, which I already mentioned with the Rally survey. Again, if you do at least 3 missions and complete them, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what you choose. Again, you will be eligible for another reward. And the telephone-based coaching program is also a rewardable incentive. That is for something like you want to quit smoking, you need stress management, you want somebody to help you develop an exercise program or a weight loss program. So they are qualified licensed coaches that you speak to telephonically. And again, depending on what it is that you want to do is going to depend on how long the program is. These last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, maybe shorter, maybe longer. Certainly, if you pick something that's smoking cessation, it's going to take a little bit longer than if you choose to have them help you develop an exercise program, for instance. But again, another rewardable program. And I would encourage you to take advantage of this, even if you only call one time. It's really good information, and they really do help you. They can do a lot of things, especially if you have stress management, things like that, that they can, give you some different exercises that you can do, that type of thing, relaxation, what have you. And I know nobody here has any stress, right? Okay, and those are the rewardable activities. The next page just talks about the gift cards themselves. As you can see, there's Amazon, Kohl's, GameStop, yeah, things like that, iTunes. So there's several out there, so you can pick and choose as you earn your reward, however you want to do the cards. You can either get an e-gift card, which you can do electronically. It will send you like a voucher, if you will, and I know Amazon does take those. as well as some of the other vendors, or you can have it mailed to a physical address. If you have it mailed to your address, it does take about 4 weeks to get to you. So just please know that up front if you have the card mailed to your address. Any questions? Has anybody done any of these?
Yes, I have.
What do you think?
I kind of like it.
Was it easy enough to get through?
Very much, yeah, very easy.
Good.
Matter of fact, I just checked mine a second ago.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
Yeah, very easy.
Okay, and again, we encourage everybody to participate in the biometrics at the end of the month, or to at least get your biometrics MD form to take to your doctor, or the lab form to take to Quest. If you do the lab form for Quest online for the biometrics because you can't make it to the on-site event, you don't even have to take a piece of paper or your ID card. Because it's going through myuhc.com and collecting your data onto an electronic file, it's kind of preloaded, and you pick a date and a location of where you want to go, and that electronically goes to the Quest location. It's the patient center, and then you just show up, and they electronically submit it to United Healthcare, and in about 4 weeks it uploads into your Rally survey, all of that data from your biometrics. Now, I will tell you, the on-site is a finger stick to take blood. If you go to the patient center, if you want just a finger stick, you're going to have to ask them. Historically, they do the venous draw in your arm. So just so you know, there's a difference if you go to the lab or not. Okay? You don't look like you don't like that too much. I don't blame you. Okay, any questions on anything with Simply Engaged? Any concerns about anything? Okay, then we go into the Rally survey again. As I mentioned earlier, you can start it and stop it however often you want. You can go in and update it however many times you want. If you don't have the information for certain data, you can skip it and keep going. If something changes, you can always go back and update it. You can go in and change your missions and your activities as you desire. There is what they call a community out there, which is basically like a blog. And it's got about maybe 30 different topics out there. So it might be something that's, I have insomnia, I'm having trouble sleeping at night. And you just kind of want to go see what other people in the community are talking about or recommending, because they're not sleeping well either. You can read and not even participate, just kind of review it and see what everybody has to say. You can get involved and you can communicate with either certain people in there or the whole community. You can ask a question if it's on a topic that you don't see out there right now, and see what your responses can be with other people. And again, this is a community that is out there with everybody that's in Rally nationally. Okay, so, and I will tell you that they do monitor those blogs, so you don't have to worry about anybody putting anything inappropriate out there. They do monitor for, inappropriate language or topics or, responses, those types of things. So you are safe in that regard. Any questions? Okay, there is a frequently asked questions section on Rally in particular. That you can review at your leisure. It does help you to kind of get through the Q&A of the Rally survey. If you have any questions on anything in particular, or you forget, how to get someplace, this will answer your questions, how to get there, and it's just kind of for you to use as you so desire. So that's Simply Engaged in Rally, which is the bulk of your wellness initiatives for right now, and we do encourage you to use it. I'm not telling you this just because I work for United Healthcare. This all got tested on all of us before it rolled out to all of you, our customers, and we were able to give some feedback. And I got to tell you, I've taken a lot of surveys in my time, and the Rally one is pretty slick. I really like it. It takes about 15 minutes to get through it. It's easy. It is a lot more interesting, keeps you engaged. Our own success with our own membership has gone from about 65% completing health surveys to in the 90s. So, there's something to be said about that, everybody's pretty much finding it engaging enough to hang in there, finish, and then stay engaged with the program to help you stay on task. It doesn't cost you anything except a few minutes of your time. Okay? Any questions on Simply Engaged or Rally to this point? Okay, there is something in there that's about Real Appeal. Are you all familiar with this program? Okay, this is a new program that just rolled out earlier this year, and your group is eligible for that. It says, get everything you need to lose. Quick background. I think everybody has heard of diabetic management programs that you can get through the YMCA, or your doctor sends you to certain things. We tried that at United Healthcare in partnership with the YMCA in particular, as well as some other vendors, and we failed miserably. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very difficult to get people engaged. It's hard to ask you to work all day and go someplace else and get into this program and what have you. And it wasn't interesting. So, in desperation, we started doing some research on our own side, and Beachbody and P90X, I think everybody's heard of. Well, they're very successful. And so United Healthcare went to a gentleman named Seth Tuckerman, who is like the CEO and one of the developers of Beachbody. And we said, okay, you guys know how to do this. Your people are healthy. You have great engagement. What are we doing wrong? Can you help us develop a program? So he did. And Real Appeal is the result. So it is different in a lot of ways. It is a weight management program that was initially intended to help with the diabetic population. But it also helps with cardiovascular issues. If you have high blood pressure, if your cholesterol is high, those types of things. Or if you're even pre-diabetic. Or you might not have any of those, you just want to lose a little bit of weight. So we partnered with him. They went out to Hollywood and partnered with Hollywood, because everybody watches Entertainment Tonight and all of that stuff and likes Hollywood stuff. So we drafted Hollywood people. And they have like Helen Hunt and Vivica Fox and Rocco DiSpirito, who is a gourmet chef, and this one young lady named Samantha Harris. I believe she used to be an anchor on Entertainment Tonight. She's now the spokeswoman for Real Appeal for us. And what they did was they brought in like a dietitian, an MD, all these different types of people to help with the program. And basically what happens is if you meet certain criteria, for instance, you have to have a body mass index of 23 or more in order to qualify. So your group is eligible. I believe there were some concerns that your group as a whole may not have been, but your office is definitely eligible for this program. So, no, I didn't mean.
Definitely eligible.
Yeah.
You might as well just say that.
No, don't.
Where are you?
Yeah, no. No, I understood this morning there were some people had called in and were told that your group does not qualify, and you do. There are participants already with your office that are in the program. So I'm trying to figure out, what that dialogue was from our side with any of you. I'm not sure. But if anybody has been told that, if you could, let me know, I would appreciate it. But your group did launch into this. It is implemented for the property appraiser's office. So you have to have, like I said, a body mass index of 23 or more. You cannot be younger than 18. So your covered spouse, and your covered children who are 18 or older can participate. What happens is you will go on to an actual site that says realappeal.com, and there's a place to register. And once you register with some personal ID information, someone will call you or reach out to you by email, however you so desire to be contacted, and they'll take you through an intake process. Now, they're going to ask you some personal questions. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? What's your family history? Do you take any medications? All those types of things in order to determine if you personally qualify to participate in the program. If you do, immediately, they tell you right then, great coaching, which means on your phone, another app, by the way, for Real Appeal, or on your tablet, your desktop, your laptop, what have you. Once a week for 30 minutes, you, with about maybe anywhere from 10 to as many as 30 other participants, again, that participate nationally, will be with a coach. Now, you see the video of the coach. You virtually can view your coach. But they can't see you because there's too many of you. So you see who your coach is. It starts out, you go on your first visit, they introduce themselves, they introduce the program, they talk to you about what Real Appeal is. Every single week you do that for 52 weeks. If you miss one, you can always reschedule. If it's not convenient, you can change your time. They run from really early in the morning to maybe about 8 or 10 o'clock at night, I believe. We're not yet to weekends, but we're trying to be able to offer those. You can do it here at work. You can do it at home, however you want to, do yours. I have joined. My time is 10 o'clock on Friday mornings, just because the office is dead. It's easy for me to do that. The rest of the time I'm on the road during the week, and that was just more convenient. The very first one I went on, this girl talked about the program, and every week I found out there's a different subject, a different topic. So it started out with what the Real Appeal is all about, and it's very interactive as much as you want. You can either sit there and listen the whole time you're on, or you can talk to everybody that's there. It's however you want to exchange. And you see a video that's about 10 to 12 minutes long relative to that topic for that week. So initially, it was an introduction to Real Appeal. So we saw a video that said, this is what Real Appeal is all about, and, kind of went through everything. And she will tell you after you go through, I believe it's the first or second video conference, you get what they call a success kit. The success kit is these goodies right here. It's an actual big white box that says Real Appeal on it, and it gets delivered to your home address or whatever address you want it delivered to. It has cookbooks, it has tracking, it has exercise equipment, it has exercise videos, it has a bullet blender, a water bottle, a food scale, a weight scale, all kinds of stuff. You don't pay for anything. All of this is free. So the good thing is, I will be the first one to tell you, I hate to exercise. I know it's the only way to lose weight and stay in shape, but I hate it. So what they did with these videos, though, is this guy is a professional trainer, and he's got, his little crew with him, and there's always one or two people that have a modified, exercise way of doing every program. It starts out with something really low on level 1. None of the sessions is more than 30 minutes long, and none of the exercise in those 30-minute sessions is more than 30 seconds long. Even I can do 30 seconds. And I got to tell you, it's really addicting after a while, because 30 seconds goes quick. And before you know it, you've had 30 minutes of cardio. There's another section that you can do 30 minutes of stretching. So they give you that yellow stretch band, so you can do 30 minutes of that. That also sometimes incorporates a little bit of hand weights or what have you. They also have another session, 30 minutes of abs. So if you want to do that kind of stuff, So you can mix and match it. They do give you a tracker in one of these books, and it also will tell you if you're just starting out, we don't want you to exercise every day. We want you to exercise maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And they give you like a little planner where you can keep track of it. And then it tells you, okay, if you've reached this plateau, it's time for you to go from level 1 to level 2. If you're not ready, don't do it. You can stay on level 1 for forever if that's where you're comfortable. The main thing is for you to move, get exercise, and that with healthy eating is what makes you successful. We do want you to check with your doctor if you're under any kind of care or medication to make sure that they know what this program is about and that they know that, you know, they give you their approval that it's not going to be adverse to you in any way. But it is really cool. The menus in the cookbook are not what you would normally think. It's lasagna, it's tacos, it's ice cream, it's all kinds of desserts, it's chocolate. It's just a different way of doing it. You'll find even in the sessions that are virtual with those coaches, they'll tell you, we don't want you to not go out. You want to go to Carrabba's? Go to Carrabba's. Get whatever you want. But learn to do just half at the meal. Take the rest of it home with you. Don't have it as a midnight snack. Eat it the next day. You know, that type of thing. So it's not a beat you down kind of thing. It is a very encouraging, realistic program that you eat real food. You don't have to buy any of that, and it's free to you, and you can use it as you so desire for you and your family. If your spouse gets on it, they get their own success kit. If your 19-year-old son gets on it, he gets his own success kit. So even if you have other people in your family that are doing this, everybody gets their own success kit.
So they have to be covered?
Yes.
Okay.
They do have to be covered on the plan. But the good thing is, even if they're not covered on the plan and you want to share it, you've got all of this here that you can share with everybody in your family. I will tell you, the very first video we saw as employees when they were first rolling this out, I don't know who the national account is. It's one of our customers, but they're a national account in the Midwest somewhere. And the gentleman who made the video with his wife, they're pretty young. They're like in their late 30s maybe. And they had 2 younger children that were maybe, 10 or under. And the gentleman in the video said he's diabetic on medication. His parents were diabetic. His grandparents were diabetic. His sister was diabetic and had just passed away from complications of her diabetes. And that's what made him get serious. He and his wife lost 100 pounds. And it was strictly through this. Now, once you're diabetic, diabetes doesn't go away per se, but he's to the point where he doesn't take medication. It is completely regulated by diet. And he said, we've got 2 small children and we didn't have good eating habits. We were cooking, not that healthy. We weren't getting any exercise, and we didn't want our children to fall into the same, family dynamic. If you could see these people, I'm not kidding. It is like night and day. And they eat real food. But what they started doing with their children, and to your point of other people in the family, was they got their kids involved with being more active. If they went for a walk through the neighborhood, they took their kids with them. They started playing with them with, even if it was a Frisbee or something in the backyard just to get some activity going. They get the kids in the kitchen to help them cook. The kids help them determine what the meal plan is going to be for the week. All of that kind of thing. And they are pretty amazing. And this guy was like, nobody paid me to do this. I'm doing this on my own because my family history is horrible and I was going to be next. And he said his sister's passing was really what got him serious. And it was like a transformation like you would not believe. And they just did it their little exercise program, eating better and doing the coaching. Now, if you go through the coaching and you do all 52 weeks, at the end of the 52 weeks, just as a feel good, you get a certificate of completion. But like I say, if you, for whatever reason, if you can't make a session, immediately, if you're scheduled for that day and time and you don't make it, on your phone or your email, however it is, or text, however it is that you decide you want to be contacted, it will tell you, we didn't see you at your session today, click here and reschedule. And so it's immediate that it will, help you stay on task. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Anybody going to sign up? It's actually pretty cool. So go to realappeal.com and please check it out. There are success videos out there. So if you want to, look at the videos and kind of get an idea, it'll tell you what the program's all about. I don't know if that one gentleman's family is out there on the video or not, but they have similar ones that they talk about, people who have successfully gone through the program. They have a dietitian that speaks sometimes. They had some videos on the weeks that were like how to rearrange your refrigerator and your pantry. I never thought of that, but if you see what they do, it's like all common sense stuff. Again, you know how they tell you go through the perimeter of the grocery store and stay out of the middle where all the double stuffed Oreos are. They talk about that, how to read labels, the proper way to do exercise, just all kinds of stuff. So every week is a video. The coach talks to you about it, gets input from everybody, everybody participates. And at the end, they will probably ask you, about what's going to happen the next week and what everybody's goal should be. What are we going to do? Is it going to be losing? And everybody has a different goal. Like somebody might say, I'm going to start cutting out sugar. And somebody else might say, I want to lose 1 more pound or whatever. Or I'm going to start, riding my bike. And then the next week, she keeps track of it, or he does. And they'll ask you, how did you do with this? So they help keep you on task with all of that. If you have certain comorbidities like diabetes and those types of things, you're also eligible for one-on-one coaching as well as the group coaching. So they will let you know if you're eligible for that or not based on your own specific situation. And the coaches always at the end of the session will stay on for an extra couple of minutes or so in case anybody has anything private that they want to ask or discuss with the coach before you actually get offline. So they're very willing to help. They've all been trained. They're all certified.
And the sessions are once a week?
Once a week.
Okay.
30 minutes. Yeah, it's not bad at all. We have one guy that gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning with his wife and his 2 kids, and his kids are little. And they go into the basement. They live in Minnesota, and they do their exercise, and he does his coaching session, and so like I say, it's like you can get your whole family involved even if they're not signed up. It's just something to share, and it's realistic. Like I said, you want to go out to eat, go to eat. You want to have a beer, have a beer. It's just a matter of how you manage it and keeping on task. Okay. Any questions? All good? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.